Hello, this is Dr. Cernuto. I just wanted to record this message to let you know about the exciting virtual band camp that we have planned for coming up actually already next week. Um, as a reminder, I wanted to let you know that we are having a virtual band camp and we're going to concentrate on keeping it online as much as possible. So, our social activities that we plan will be primarily online. Our camp activities will be in the forms of clinics and sectionals that will be online, and we're going to try to keep you as safe as we possibly can. Very soon, I'm going to be sending out another announcement with some uh, new guidelines and procedures that we're going to put in place this year to keep you safe in a COVID-19 environment, including building procedures in Jefferson Hall, performance procedures as far as PPE and spacing requirements. And we'll get to that soon. But the purpose of this message tonight is to let you know about the exciting schedule that we have planned for band camp. So let's go ahead and I want to share this screen with you. And here we go. Welcome to our presentation about the 2020 Marauder Marching Band Virtual Band Camp. We're going to have our first meeting on Sunday, August 16th, and go through Sunday, August 23rd. Nothing's going to be on Saturday, and some of these dates are going to have not much going on, but that's the general time frame from Sunday, August 16th through Sunday, August 23rd. So why are we even having a virtual band camp? There's not going to be football this season or this fall at least. There's still a chance that there could be spring football. We're not going to have any off-campus performances this year. So why have a band camp? Well, when we talked as a staff and as leadership about what we would get accomplished in camp, what we decided is that we weren't going to try to recreate a traditional marching band camp experience, especially knowing that we had to maintain an online platform. So, what we decided to do is branch out and get into some subjects that we normally wouldn't get a chance to get into, talk to you about some things, introduce you to some areas that we wouldn't get a chance to really even talk about. Things that I think are actually really important, especially for our music majors, but we're focusing them so that they could be of an interest to anyone really. Um, and more on that later. But let's talk about why are we holding band camp. First of all, we want to begin acclimating our new members. We want to begin to welcome you into the bigger band community. We want to begin to get you feeling comfortable about being a member of our group. So our first purpose is to get you involved in some way, even if it's virtually, with our band. Second, as I said, we're going to cover some topics and have some discussions that we normally don't get a chance to cover, but I think are really important. Third, we're going to use this opportunity to transition to the different cognates that will be available during the season. Don't forget that during the year, the plan is for in person rehearsals to be supplemented with online learning cognates for anyone who signed up for the classes, but particularly for our music majors. This will transition into what we're going to be doing in the online realm in the fall semester. We want to expose you to different sections. Some of these units, some of these clinics, you may say, well, I don't have anything to do with the color guard, and I don't have anything to do with designing for the marching band. But what we'd like you to do is consider popping into these sections. Our clinicians have designed these clinics so that they are going to be basic and introductory in nature, except for a few that I'll mention. And really, honestly, could be of interest to anybody. There's going to be a lot of clinics on color guard technique, twirling technique, percussion technique. If you're not in those sections, I would love for you to get a chance to get a little glimpse into what those sections have to do and have to manage in their specialized world. If you're in the percussion or in the color guard and you want to learn more about um, designing for the winds, we'd love to have you check that out. We want you to get to experience sections that you normally wouldn't get a chance to get an insight to what they do. We're going to be bringing in people who are experts in the field to share some knowledge with you. I have a couple of exciting guests coming up, and I'll tell you more about them soon. And then lastly, we're going to try to build some community. This is going to be a different year for everybody, and we're going to start the process of making this into a band family starting during camp. So that's why we're holding band camp. So who should attend? I mean, I hope you all want to attend, but let's be honest. This is going to be again a different year. There's going to be some interruptions to some of your housing situations that I'm going to completely understand, and not all of you signed up to go to sessions like this when you thought about marching band. So I'm going to be very honest with you and say that if you're a music ed major, I think you should attend as much as possible. If you're a music major or someone who is maybe a non-major but wants to work in marching band, say as a instructor or a tech, I think that you should attend as much as you can. Anyone who would like to learn more about these different areas, we'd love to have you. But having said that, I'm not going to put too much stock into if you're not a music ed major, how often you attend the clinics themselves. I understand this isn't what you signed up for. I'd love to have you attend, but I understand that if you have other things to do, just let your section leaders know, and we'll understand. The exception, though, is our daily sectionals. I'd like everyone to try to have that time free for your sectionals. And we'll talk more about that later. That will be virtually. Some of them will be performing based, some of them will be socially based. But that's the one time I want you to definitely all get together. But the clinics that we have lined up, I would love for you all to be there, but I understand if you really can't. So the general camp format, um, Sunday the 16th, Sunday the 23rd, we're going to have a meeting hosted by me from 8 to 9 p.m. Daily, Monday through Friday, we're going to have clinic sessions between 9 to 10 a.m. and 4 to 5 p.m. We're going to also have sectionals daily from 1 to 2. On Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll have an additional clinic slot from 8 to 9 p.m. And all this will be conducted via Zoom or maybe other technologies, but primarily Zoom. And the links are going to be sent out to these meetings before camp. So that's the general camp structure and format. And I will send you um, a paper copy of the schedule for you to have as a reference. So, what session should I attend? Again, most of these sessions are going to be geared towards general information or general or introductory knowledge. So, really, honestly, anyone can find interest in any of these sessions. Most of our clinic time slots will have multiple offerings, so you can maybe pick and choose what would interest you more. But if you miss something that you really want to catch up on, don't feel like you will never get that information again. All of our sessions are going to be archived, and they're going to be made available on Zoom, or I'm sorry, on D2L for you to review at a later time if you feel that there's something that you missed. Again, the sectionals are really important, so try to be in your sectionals. The content, though, of the sectionals are going to be made up to the leadership and to the staff. There's a few things that I've asked them to get to work on, but the sectional content will be primarily driven by your leadership and by the staff members. All right, so I'm not a music major. What's in this for me? As I said, those sectionals are very important. If you need an instrument, many of you did come to pick up instruments during the instrument pickup period. If you still need a school instrument, we will have pickups available during the week of band camp or before band camp. Just send me an email and we'll arrange for something. We, being the club leadership, had determined that in order to sweeten the pot a little bit for non-majors, we are going to keep attendance at all of our sessions. There's going to be an officer or a drum major assigned to every session to keep attendance. At the end of the week, we're going to take the names of the students who attend the most sessions, clinic sessions, who are non-majors, and we're going to put your name into a hat and have a raffle. And from that raffle, we're going to be awarding a few gift cards. We haven't necessarily worked out the details fully on what those gift cards are going to be, but just so you know, there is going to be a raffle at the end of the week for non-majors who attend the sessions. So to give you a little bit of a incentive to come, even if you're not necessarily a music major. So that's kind of, if you're not a music major, why you should be there. Regardless of your major, if you're registered for the class marching band camp, MUSI 128 is a class. The grade is solely going to be on attendance. In a normal year, that's really easily achieved. I'm able to see you there all the time. So, what we're going to do this year is, again, there's going to be officers keeping attendance during the sessions. Attend one session or sectional during the day, you get an A for the class. Now, housing allowances. This is a good time to mention this for everybody. The housing is going to be broken up, and you likely will be moving into your on campus housing over the course of the week. Keep an eye on your email, and when you get the information on how to register for a housing move-in time, jump on that. But if you have a housing move-in date that is not Sunday, if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you can go ahead and move into your housing and not worry about attending a camp session. That's fine. Just make sure that you keep your section leader in the loop. So when you find out your assigned housing move-in time, for on-campus housing, make sure you let your section leaders know, and we will allow you the time to move in properly to your housing. Don't worry about that. So who's doing this camp? Who's doing these clinics? I want to introduce you to our clinicians for the camp. First of all, we'll have several percussion sessions from our percussion staff, Rich Klimowitz and Jabin Baxter. Our auxiliary clinicians in color guard and twirling are going to be Heather White and Elaine Russell, and her daughter Holly will probably help her out. You can see them there. Me, I'm going to be doing clinics. My clinics are going to be primarily based on marching band planning and design. And we're also going to have some special guest clinicians who I'm very excited about. We're going to have Mr. Paul Downing, who's going to give a guest clinic, Dr. Joe Shivert, who is the Assistant Director of Bands at Kennesaw State University in Georgia, and Dr. Timothy Anderson, who is the Director of the UMass Minutemen Marching Band. They're going to all be giving guest clinics for you during our camp. So now I want to tell you a little bit about these sessions so that you have an introduction to what the general idea of the sessions is, a little bit of a greater understanding. On August 16th, we're going to have an opening meeting from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So I want you to wear something Millersville related, black or gold. So that's going to be for everyone. Everyone should try to be there. All right, so Monday, August 17th from 9 to 10, there's going to be two sessions. Jabin's going to be giving a really nice session that we're calling the Battery Instrumentation and Selection. The purpose of this session is going to be to introduce non-percussionists into the instruments that are in the battery, the philosophy behind selecting those instruments, and a little bit about how to place percussionists into the battery section uh, to best suit their skills and their abilities. These are things like different head types, different drum designs. There are actually different configurations you can do for tenor drums, for bass drums. There's lots of different sizes, lots of different materials, and that's what that session is going to be about. My session is going to be on basic drill as far as reading drill, both coordinate sheets and the charts, and also field definitions. This is going to be important for people who maybe don't have a strong concept of how the field is actually designed. So that's going to be from 9 to 10 on the 17th. From 4 to 5 p.m. on Monday, Richard's going to give a really nice clinic on check patterns, which is a warm-up and skill developing philosophy for percussionists. This will be, again, primarily for people who are not necessarily percussionists about what check patterns are and how you use them, but really anyone could benefit from them. Also, Heather will be giving a really nice clinic where we're calling Basic Flag Technique. Again, this is primarily geared towards people who are not color guard members, and it's about the basics behind what a flag does, the basic flag maneuvers, basic hand positioning, etc. So that's going to be Monday from 4 to 5. That evening from 8 to 9, we're going to have two clinics. I'm going to be doing a clinic on the basics of drill design as far as forms and transitions, a little introduction, primer into the basic ideas behind different formations and different ways of moving across the field. And Heather's going to be doing a clinic that we're calling lower body work, dance technique that is applicable for all sections. So I'll be going over lower body dance technique, how you can use it in visuals, and how you can use it to strengthen your visual presentation in the marching band. Tuesday morning from 9 to 10, my clinic will be on the count sheet, which is in basic drill design. This is basically how to transition written music or oral music, breaking it down and starting the process of putting it on the drill page. The first step that drill designers usually do in that process is called the count sheet. So we'll talk about what that is, how to design it, and what its uses are. That afternoon from 4 to 5, we're going to have a couple of really nice clinics. First, my clinic will be called A Brief History of the Marching Band. That'll be actually a couple things. It'll first of all be a brief history of the marching band, but also I'm going to go into some of the regional variations and different styles that are involved in marching bands, both at the collegiate and the high school level. We'll talk about corps style bands, show style bands, we'll talk about traditional military style bands and where they came from. Elaine's going to be giving a nice clinic on baton twirling 101. Just like our flag clinic, this will be the basics of what goes into the technique behind baton twirling. It'll be a nice introduction to what our majorettes do. So if you don't want to miss that clinic. That'll be a really good one. So there's nothing on Tuesday evening. Wednesday morning, we're going to have a really nice clinic from Tim Anderson from UMass, and his clinic's going to be on effective leadership and the marching band. He is one of the national leaders in this area. Being a UMass person, he's very connected to George Parks and George Parks Drum Major Academy. He has extensive training and experience in developing leadership, both in the band and beyond. So that clinic will be given by him. I'm going to be there to help moderate that. That's going to be Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. Wednesday evening, we're going to have a couple of clinics. My clinic on arranging for the winds, basic ideas about how to translate musical ideas to the marching band. That's going to be at 4 o'clock. And also, Heather's going to have a clinic primarily geared towards guard members on designing for the guard. This is going to be for members who maybe foresee themselves choreographing materials for the guard, being a guard instructor independently. So that's going to be 4 to 5 on Wednesday. And that one is a little bit more specialized. But again, anyone can get some benefit out of being there. Wednesday evening, we're going to have a clinic from my friend Paul Downing called Entrepreneurship in the Marching Arts. Paul lives in Texas, and he is an independent percussion instructor at several large Texas BOA style high schools, also several indoor percussion lines and drum corps. His clinic will be about being an independent contractor and how to both operate scheduling different camp opportunities, different instructional opportunities, um, the professionalism involved, being a corporation, and all of those entrepreneurship aspects and how to do that. This is really a great clinic if you see yourself working in marching band, but not necessarily getting an education degree, which I know that many of you have some designs to do. So that's going to be Wednesday evening from 8 to 9 p.m. Thursday morning from 9 to 10 a.m., there's going to be a clinic that's going to be co-conducted, pun intended, by me and Dr. Joe Shivert. Dr. Shivert is the assistant director of the marching band at Kennesaw State University. And our clinic will be primarily about the special conducting aspects that are involved in the outdoors realm. Not only patterns and size, but we're going to talk about field dimensions, and we're going to talk about the importance of keeping proper time, and how to view conducting a little bit differently when you're standing on a really tall ladder. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do that with our drum majors being our main guinea pigs, our main demonstration vehicle. So that's going to be Thursday morning, conducting the marching band. Thursday afternoon, we're going to have a couple of nice clinics. Rich is going to give a clinic on electronics for the modern day front ensemble. As we all know, this is a really big and important topic nowadays. He's going to give a clinic on the different dynamics that are involved, the different equipment that's involved, and a little bit on how to start considering electronics in the front ensemble. Elaine and Holly Russell will give a clinic on ballet technique, and again, integrating that into not only the visuals for auxiliary members, for guard or for twirlers, but also for anybody. So how you can use dance and ballet technique and incorporate it into your visual design. Thursday evening, the clinic will be from me, and it's going to be on copyright basics in the marching band. And this is not necessarily going to be just for band directors. This also will have to do with performance rights and synchronization rights. So we're going to go into arranging, how to get permission to arrange, how to get mechanical rights, in case you want to produce music that you distribute, synchronization rights, and then performance rights. So the basics of the copyright issues that are involved in marching band. Friday morning, there's going to be a couple of really important sessions. Rich is going to give a session on tuning the percussion section for the football field. This is not only the battery, but also the front ensemble. It's going to be different considerations for how to tune up these instruments. And yes, non-percussionists, percussion instruments can and are frequently tuned to make them sound particular ways. Heather's going to give part 2 of her session on designing for the color guard. Again, that one's a little bit more tailored towards the color guard members. But again, it's honestly great information for anybody. So that's Friday from 9 to 10. Friday afternoon from 4 to 5, there's a session for orchestrating for the front ensemble, which is about specifically arranging for the instruments of the front ensemble, and especially in a modern front ensemble. So not just our mallet percussion, but also auxiliary percussion, synthesizers, um, drum set, and beyond. Then Heather's session will be on the basics of rifle and saber technique. Again, insight into the parts of the rifle, the parts of the saber, how a guard member will approach the technique behind it, and a few basic terms and terminology to know behind the way that the guard uses rifles and sabers. Finally, on Sunday, we're going to have a closing meeting from 8 to 9 p.m. Again, wear something Millersville related, something black or gold. We may have another guest that evening, but I haven't confirmed it. But we're going to have that meeting Sunday from 8 to 9. So that's going to be our band camp. I know there's a lot of talking. I'll send this all to you in text, but I just wanted to let you know what each session was about and what the general idea of our camp is going to be. And I want you to remember, the Band app is very important. Make sure you download the Band app for your tablet or your computer or your phone. We're going to use that for distributing music, drill files. We're also going to use it for taking attendance and for announcements. So if you want to take your phone and snap that QR code right now, you can download the Band app. Now, as I said, this is going to be a different year. This is going to be, in some ways, a difficult year. But what I want you to know is that you got this. All of you listening, you've got this. This year is going to be amazing. It will be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And I'm really excited to take this journey with you. It's going to be different, but I think that we're all going to get a lot out of it, and we're all going to have a really great experience. So you've got this. Trust me, you've got this. So that's it for tonight. That's our introduction to Bandcamp. I hope you all I hope you all are healthy and well, and I can't wait to see you soon. Be on the lookout for more emails, more messages from me concerning the Bandcamp and beyond, and I will see you soon.